There are some pretty big name players who could get traded in the MLB within the next month and a half, and I'm going to go over my top 9 players who I think could get traded. At number 9, finishing up a 5-year contract after this season, we have Randall Grichuk, hitting well over 300 so far in the season, and Colorado is definitely not in a spot to contend this year, so I say he gets traded, and Grichuk could be the first domino to fall for the Rockies this year. At number 8, we got Scott Barlow. The last couple seasons, he's been one of the best relief pitchers in the league, he strikes out a lot, and he's a free agent after 2024. Number 7, we gotta roll this Chapman. I think the whole reason the Royals signed Chapman in the first place was to trade him at the deadline this year, and that's exactly what I think will happen. Chapman's been decent this year, and he strikes out a lot. At number 6, we got Elias Diaz. He's gonna be a free agent after 2024, and it doesn't look like the Rockies are gonna contend anytime soon, and Diaz is playing well this year, so I say they trade him and get a decent return. At number 5, coming off the IL recently, we got Jock Pederson. Just like last year, he's playing good so far, and as of right now, the Giants are just one game above 500, so we'll see if they want to contend this year or not. But if they're not planning on contending at the deadline, then they could probably get some decent pieces back. Drew Smyly has been excellent this year, and the Cubs have not. So I say the Cubs trade him before his contract is up after this season. The White Sox are well below 500, but not actually too far off their division leader, because they play in the weakest division in the league. I say now is the time for the White Sox to trade Lucas Giolito and get some good prospects in return. Marcus Stroman has been fantastic this year. He's an ERA under 3 and has an opt-out in his contract after this season. I say they can trade Stroman to a contender, and they'll probably get a lot in return. At number 1, he's been surprisingly one of the best starting pitchers in the league this year. No, I'm not talking about Ohtani. I don't think he's going to get traded this year. This player is an opt-out after this year. He plays on one of the worst teams in the league. He's a whip below 1 and an ERA of 2.13, and that's Eduardo Rodriguez.